evening, and welcome to another episode of Another Sports View, brought to you by Women Love Sports Too. Well, I guess we got something to talk about. But before we get started, let's have everyone introduce themselves. And we have our special double fantasy football winner. Actually, we'll let her go first. Then we will go to Maryland, and then we will go to I don't know, the place with the orange and brown in the back. Sonny, you go first.
Um, okay, I'm Sonny Bradford Jennings. I'm in Manchester, Connecticut, long time Washington football team fan and double fantasy league winner.
Wow.
Awesome.
Okay, we're going to get into what double fantasy is because I'd be happy to win one fantasy. I've been wrong about everything all year, it seems like. It's your girl, Kanisha. Hello, everyone. And I am dazed and confused on this Tuesday. A lot going on. Glad to be here.
Well, welcome, K-Dub. And you don't have to be confused because the Browns is not playing in the playoffs this weekend, so you don't have to worry about that.
There was never any confusion.
No one was confused.
Can I give my time?
My bad. Go ahead.
It's your girl Cheryl Green with the Biggie coming in all the way from LA, and I see we got another Cleveland Browns fan on, and she's a fantasy football, and Sonny, welcome, and we're so glad to have you because I'm so tired of fighting these women when it comes to our Cleveland Browns. So thank you for joining us this evening.
So I appreciate that. I hate to burst your bubble, though. I'm actually a Washington Commanders fan, but I do like orange and brown colors, if that's helpful.
Yeah, I knew she was on the team. I knew she was on the
don't
team.
hate to burst her bubble. Like it's okay. I guess we'll get started with the elephant in the room, the playoffs. So apparently we've got an NFC and an AFC championship that's going to be happening week after next. Is that when it's happening? I'm sorry. Were there games 2 days ago? They were just so I mean, all right. Well, we'll start with we want to start with the elephant in the room.
Well, you had what the slipping and sliding in Buffalo, or
we'll start. We can start with that. Go ahead.
It was just uncomfortable, and it looked really cold, and I felt so bad for them. And I know she looks so serene, but I know she's trying to contain her Ohio joy because I thought the Bills were going to show up, and they lost at home in the snow.
Yeah. The Bills fans thought that they were going to show up too. But I guess the bright side is that Hamlin was there. So shout out to DeMar Hamlin and still wishing him well in his recovery. Now, Cheryl, speaking of slippery, and Cheryl, we're going to keep this show to 30 minutes, okay? Don't forget. Speaking of slippery slopes, it looks like just a Cleveland helmet behind you, yet I get you're now going to just embrace the whole state. You support this 27 to 10 Bengals win over the Bills.
So I'll answer all four of those questions that you just.
It was one. Go ahead.
Okay, so yes, I am a diehard Cleveland Browns fan, but we are all for the city when it comes to our sports. Now you have the northern part of Ohio, then you have the southern part. And so the southern part, that's Cincinnati. So you got those football fans there because we're blessed to have two football teams in our state. And then you have the Browns. And so we do root for one another when we get into those type of situations, so we'll stand behind our brothers down there in the Natty, who they. So we're going to support them in their endeavors to bring the championship back to Cleveland, because you know what, when they bring that championship back to Cleveland, when they had that party, we all going to be there. The Browns and the Bengals going to be there joined up together. That was one. Now, number two, y'all know that was fake snow that was blown onto the field that we couldn't see. And so this is the reason that, I think Buffalo probably lost because it wasn't real snow. They want to fake it out and say, yeah, Cincinnati couldn't handle that snow. They came all the way up there and lost. But nope, slippery slope. We came up there. We, being Cincinnati, came up there and they showed up and they showed out. And I know DeMar Hamlin was sitting in the stadium. Much love to him, but he probably should have just stayed at home and watched that game.
Cheryl, we have company on the podcast, so let's keep your stories down to zero.
That's why she should be to zero.
We you know what? We actually started on Sunday. It's fine. We can work our way back. Backwards seems to work for me right now. So the late game on Sunday was the Cowboys and the 49ers. Oh, too bad. So sad. Anyway,
wait a minute. Okay, so we took a vote on who was going to win and who was going to lose. Who voted for the Cowboys?
Not I. Said that.
No one did on here.
We're not going to vote for the Cowboys ever.
Oh, okay. Well, who voted for the Bills?
Oh, our producer actually said the Cowboys. I did say the Bills. I really
I did too.
Yeah, I didn't see the folks from northern Kentucky getting much further, and I don't like them anyway. So they're gonna lose in the next, so it's fine.
Right.
Oh, we ain't got that far yet, but okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that part. So really quick on Saturday, listen, did the Jaguars show up and show they're not to be reckoned with come next season, or did Kansas City just not play as well as they could? I don't know. I didn't expect 27-20 Kansas City over Jacksonville.
No, that was the Lazarus move from the Jaguars.
Yeah.
That was actually a good game.
It was the only good one, right?
Yes.
Over the weekend. Yeah.
Well, it was better than the Cowboys game. Yeah. That one was better than the Cowboys game.
Defense. We like to see scores, but we appreciate the defense as well. But it was starting to, but we won't talk about them anymore. Okay, and we can keep this other NFC conversation light too. So, which Giants showed up in Philadelphia?
What you mean?
Giant Eagles?
The tiny Giants.
Right. Was it just Andre the Giant? Because this 38-7 was tough. It was,
James and the Giant Peach. I don't know.
Honestly, the best thing about this game were the videos and memes that I've seen since then. Did you all see the Fly Eagles Fly? The fans kind of took it literal. Did you see the guy literally leap off the top of an RV? But no worries. There were spectators because, of course, we want to see a show. They caught him. But here's the other thing. The clip that I saw was daylight. There was a still shot of him in the air and it was dark. So you know what that means? It means he jumped off of there twice. Fly, Eagles, fly. Okay.
He was really celebrating. I have an interesting fact about the most NFC championship game appearances since 2000. Speaking of the Eagles, and also talking about did we talk about the Niners yet?
No, we didn't.
Not yet.
Okay. Well, so the Eagles have had 7 NFC championship appearances since 2007. The Packers, who are completely missing in action, had 6. And the Niners have had 5.
Yeah. So Steelers didn't make that list, huh? They didn't make the cut.
Neither did the Browns, ma'am.
No. I was just asking a question.
How many rings?
I was just asking the question.
Okay, this is a 30-minute show, and again, we have company. Go ahead.
Clearly we know one person that knew all of these wins were going to happen, or she knew most of them. Sonny, tell us about your not 1 but 2 fantasy football league wins this season?
Yes.
So I have a team in WLST and WLST2 leagues. One of them is named Mother of Dragons, because I like that TV series, and the other one's called Game of Thrones, which I think is very creative. Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Anyway,
You said Throws.
Game of Thrones. That's the other team.
okay.
You know, I really just spent a lot of time actively checking my teams each week. You know, I'm one of these people that kind of looks at the injury reports to see who's being replaced, and then I go snatch them off of you know, the draft, and really focused on the quarterbacks, the running backs, and the kicker. Those are the main, not running backs, the wide receivers, the kickers. Those are the ones I spend most of the time focusing on, and it just happened to work out. I think the big winners for me this year on the fantasy league was Geno Smith. You know, a lot of the critics were criticizing Geno Smith. Didn't think he was going to do that good at Seattle, and he did great.
Yeah.
So he was one of the big winners.
I said Denver. Sorry, go ahead.
I actually snatched up young Purdy from San Francisco when I saw that was happening. Oh yeah, I'm like a vulture. I'm like, ooh, who's playing next? I didn't even know if he was going to do any good or not, but that's kind of been my strategy. And so this year I lucked up and I won both leagues.
Nice.
So who was your running back?
Oh God, I don't know if he's a running back or wide receiver. Kamara is one of the people that was also very successful, man. I don't remember if he's a running back or a wide receiver, but he's part of the ones that I picked up right quickly. So.
Oh, okay. Did you have Nick Chubb on your team?
No.
Or Myles Garrett?
No.
She had no Browns.
No, I'm gonna need you to send me over your list so I can look it up.
I will.
Well, Carol, obviously she didn't need them because she beat our producer in the championship, and she is a WLST Hall of Famer.
Yes,
okay?
I am.
I don't think any of the rest of us on this screen are a Hoffer, and so if she did it without Nick Chubb, you know, let this lady. I'm just gonna take her to the casino. I'll come up to Connecticut. They got casinos there.
Yeah, we got two pretty good casinos, actually.
We'll meet you at Mohegan.
There you go. Yeah, you know, it's funny. It's the thing about fantasy league. It's hard because there's certain teams I just don't root for, like the Cowboys, you know. But then sometimes they got to play. Not so much this year, but in the past, sometimes there've been players that have been really good. I had to do it anyway. And then other times there's players I was a big fan of. Like I was a big fan of Russell Wilson when he was in Seattle. Not so much now, but Seattle. But from a fantasy perspective, he tended to balance the running game with the throwing game, and you get more points from fantasy leagues if somebody throws a lot than if they're running. So I had to dump my poor little boy at one point a couple seasons ago because I'm like, oh, sorry, Russell, sorry.
And that was a good dump.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was.
Tony, how did you get into being a football fan? You know, stereotypically, it's a man's game. It's a man's sport. How did you get into football? How'd you become a football fan?
So I have two sisters, and my brother's the youngest, and my parents had season tickets for the then Redskins since 1960. They had them for over 50 years. And so, you know, I had the opportunity to go to the games. Probably my first guy was probably 7. I'm pretty sure I sat there reading a comic book. But after a while, you know, I really got into the game. My dad did a really good job of really explaining to us how football works. For me, which makes it exciting, he taught us about how to do not only a little bit about plays, but also about penalties. So, you know, when something's wrong or, you know, all that type of thing. So that's how I kind of got into it. You know, I was fortunate that we had tickets during the heyday of the Redskins when they were going to Super Bowls and championships and all that stuff. So at least I got to experience that. I feel bad for fans nowadays that are during this, only see the Snyder era, which has been a big, horrible disaster. Right. But yeah, that's kind of how it happened. And I just really like football.
So have you always been a Washington fan?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm born and raised. I'm a Washingtonian. So I was born and raised in DC. So yeah, RFK Stadium, the whole bit.
Because she said 1960. Like, what did you want?
I was just asking because I just had another question for her.
Okay. About Major Tootie, Major Tutty. What's his name?
Toodles.
Have we figured out, is it Major Tutty or Tootie?
Toodles.
I think it's like Major Attitude. So I want to say Major Tootie.
We're talking about y'all's mascot.
It's definitely not
You know what?
sports
Okay,
related.
so everything about the team right now sucks, including I don't even like the name. And I don't even I don't even pay attention to the mascot. I mean, it's just hard for me. I mean, I think they did the right thing by changing the name, but I'm
Mhm.
just really disappointed by what they did with it. But it's par for the course for everything under Snyder. So
Okay. So now, do you still have season tickets to the games?
no, we gave them up. It's like when I moved up to we've been in Connecticut for 20 years, so I gave up my two tickets because at one point I had two of them when I had money, was grown. So I gave up mine when we moved to Connecticut, and then my mother gave up their tickets probably sometimes later. So it's been a long time since we had season tickets. Yeah.
Oh, okay. The reason I asked that is because we had season tickets to the Browns games, and
Mhm.
we don't, true fans don't give up their tickets.
Yeah.
You
Well,
only get-
my parents were in their late 80s, so they had a reason. And then I was in Connecticut, so commuting to DC for the game also made it challenging. But I hear what you're saying, though, because we were like, well, if we give up these tickets, what if we want to get them back? So I totally get what you're saying, though, because we were like, even if I couldn't afford it, I got those tickets when I was down there. So
Right.
but that's okay. That's okay, Sonny, because we I'll get you a pass to the Browns game when you
okay, I'll
come.
go to a Browns game. I'm not mad at my daughter lives in Ohio, so I'll go see a Browns
Oh, see, I knew it was something about you. I knew that. I
game.
knew that. Yeah.
Well,
And Sonny, I'm gonna get you a pass to the Browns. I'm gonna get you a pass, like a pass where you don't have to attend. Okay.
the thing I like about Sonny is that she joins us in not liking
I don't know.
the Cowboys. And
Can you
she's
see
a
me?
kin-
Yes,
yes,
we can see you. We can see you.
she's a kindred spirit in that realm. And I had an interesting fact about Jalen Hurts in that game too.
Oh,
If you
okay.
all would like to hear it, I read this the other day. Where am I? Okay. Here's a fun fact about Jalen Hurts, who was literally the last draft pick in the draft as a rookie quarterback, but he wasn't even born the last time Dallas played in the NFC Championship game. That
Wow.
means his parents had sex, gave birth, he grew up. He learned how to play football. He went to Alabama, transferred to OU, got drafted, sat behind Carson Wentz, and is going to the NFC Championship game before Dallas goes back.
Wow.
Well,
Yep.
I got a text that said that we were talking about the Cowboys enough, and now, well, there you have it.
So there, that's my fact. And kicking,
I got a little known fact too. Yeah,
Sure.
Go ahead.
I do. Joe Burrows. He was a quarterback and played at the Ohio State University. And now he plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he's about to bring a championship to the state of Ohio. This is a little known fact.
This is very like what I did in third grade summer camp.
That was more like a little known prediction. My last question before I move to the NBA. We're all big football fans in case you can't tell. How do you deal in the off season? Like, do you like other sports, or are you just like, well, now I'll go read a book? What do you what do you do?
I haven't followed the NBA in a while. I just admire it from a distance. I mean, I used to be a big Lakers fan, but I haven't followed in a while. Mostly just other things, tennis, track and field, swimming, really love watching swimming. Anything that's also in the Olympics, I'll follow as well. But as far as, the pro team, is really pretty much football for me.
Gotcha.
Well, I got one question.
We need the predictions. No, we got to do our predictions.
Okay, I just got one for Sonny. So, do you think that Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, do you think it is time for those guys to retire?
Tom Brady is like an enigma. For normal quarterbacks, I'd say yes, but he's still producing. He's the difference with him is he's just not producing like he did when he was 20, but he's still producing better than a lot of the quarterbacks in the league, which is ironic. But it's probably time, for him to retire. Aaron Rodgers, it's probably time for him too. They both had a really good run.
Now, what about Dak Prescott?
What? Cheryl, get to the predictions. It's not time for Dak to retire. Get predictions.
You said we wasn't talking about Dallas enough, so I thought I might just
predictions.
No, predictions. We're going to predictions. So I need NFC champion prediction, AFC champion prediction, and Super Bowl winner. And Sonny, we'll let you go first.
Okay, NFC. So this is kind of hard for me because when I'm not rooting for the Commodores, I'm always a supporter of the Eagles because my mom's from the Philadelphia area. But on the other hand, Cincinnati's been doing really good. My cousin-in-law Tim McGee was a longtime fan, superstar for the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm not sure, but I think I would go with Philly there. And then on the other side, my brain says Kansas City, but my Cinderella story heart says San Francisco. So more than likely, if I watch the game, I'll probably root for San Francisco.
Wait.
Yeah, confused.
No, San Fran is playing.
Did I do the wrong teams? Okay, sorry. Got it mixed up. All right, so Cincinnati, Kansas. So Cincinnati, I would probably root for AFC and Philly for NFC, even though I technically want San Francisco to win because of the young quarterback. Okay, sorry, I got that all mixed up.
Okay, and then who's going to get the whole thing? Who's taking the whole thing?
Take it all.
I would probably, I'm gonna say San Francisco. What the heck?
Oh,
okay.
But you just said Philly was gonna beat 49ers.
Oh, I did say that? Okay, see, I'm just getting all mixed up, aren't I? I can't make up my mind.
Because she wants the Niners to win.
Basically NFC. That's who's going to win. That's what I put it that way.
Follow your heart.
It's fine. It's fine. You sound like Cheryl sometimes. It's okay. Kanisha, oh my goodness, look at the time. Kanisha, we need your predictions. NFC champ, AFC champ, and Super Bowl champ.
I'm gonna say the Niners.
Ooh.
And then I'm gonna say the Chiefs, just because I just don't like the Bengals. And then I'm gonna say 49ers all the way. Thank you.
All right. Let's do. Cheryl, who you got?
So that's 2 49ers. Okay. So the Chiefs and the Bengals. Of course, I'm going to go with the Bengals. And then the 49ers and Philly. Now, I was on a little toss-up on that. And here's why. Because if I say the 49ers, then that would be the Bengals and the 49ers. That would be a rematch of Super Bowl XX111 back in 1989 when San Francisco won. And so it would be a rematch because the Bengals would win this time. But however, I do like the little quarterback they got up there. What his name is, Jalen Hurts. So I don't know. I'm a little on the fence with that. But I'm going to say my prediction to win is going to be the Bengals.
The over who?
Overall, the Bengals.
No, who did you pick for NFC?
She want to say Niners. Come on, stop.
I did not, but I said Philly, but then I could say I want the Niners to win it because I want to see the rematch of the Bengals and the Niners. So I'm gonna go with the 49ers, and I'm doing that because you know what? Because I like that black quarterback. But I'm gonna go with the 49ers because I want to see a rematch.
And now we're out of time. Now we're out of time. Thanks, everybody. I'm gonna go with Philly. I think I know Purdy's been doing really well, but I'm just gonna pick Hurts. I'm just gonna pick Hurts over and the Eagles over San Fran. And I don't know. I think that at any other time I would have picked the Chiefs, but I don't know. I think the Bengals are just kind of hot. So I may put the Bengals and the Eagles in the Super Bowl, which almost sounds exciting. But I'm going to say that the Eagles will prevail.
It's a very wild kingdom prediction there.
So we all over the place now. You got the Bengals, the Eagles, and the 49ers. Okay.
Well, our producer says Chiefs all the way.
Yeah, but that means Patrick Mahomes' ankle has to come too, and
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, now the Chiefs are 0-3 when it comes to the Natty. That means we got their number.
She's been wrong about everything though, so I'm.
She texts us every last 2 weekends that she's been right the whole time. It's interesting.
But you're right about the ankle. I mean, he was still limping even when it came out of the second half. Mahomes was still limping.
When he got the heavier tape, yeah, which is why I was like, the Jaguars just not, match up right there all the way till the end. I don't know. He gets the extra week to rest, but
was it a high ankle too?
They need the arm. They need his arm and his leg.
All of it, all the parts.
So, all right, just for time's sake, I've lost my agenda. I know we were going to say something about the NBA before we jump into this HBCU madness, and it's not even March. I'll just call out the standings, and Cheryl, the Cleveland Cavaliers are in the top 5, but I'm gonna need you to keep your excitement to a minimum. So with that, I'm gonna give you time to control yourself. So
we got a long way to go, baby.
I'm gonna start with the Western Conference, okay? Number 5 is the Mavericks. Number 4, the Pelicans. Number 3, the Sacramento Kings. Number 2, the Grizzlies. And in number 1, in first place, there's only one number 1, Denver Nuggets. In the Eastern Conference, sorry, I was scrolling down looking for my Wizards. All right, but we're only doing the top 5. Number 5 is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Number 4 is the Nets. Number 3, the Bucks. Number 2, the 76ers. And number 1, Celtics.
Not surprising. Nothing surprising there.
That's all. That's all. How come I didn't say the Warriors? Could it be?
Consistency.
They're down at number 10, but stranger things have happened. Now on to
fighting over there.
Yeah, right. Now on to HBCU football. Or just HBCU.
Oh, wait, can we say this about one thing? LeBron James, he made history with the Lakers. This last game, he hit 596 points in the free throw. He went up on Byron Allen, so he's like number 4th in their franchise history for 3 points.
Look at that.
LeBron James.
You had a relevant, current fact for us. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
And there was one more.
No, it looks like it's we changed subjects, but thank you. We needed that. We needed that info because LeBron is from where?
Cleveland.
There we go. Okay, you see, I gave
I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, remember when Donovan Mitchell hit 71 points? It's only been 7 other players who have hit 70 points in a game, and he happened to be number 7, and he played for the Cleveland Cavaliers as well, and that's probably why we were ranked number 5.
It could be, but probably not.
Okay. And Linda, our producer, is now yawning. So let's move on. Probably because you have gone too long. So HBCU madness. So there's no secret that, well, for starters, that some folks just started to act like HBCUs had football teams once Deion Sanders became the coach of Jackson State. He has now moved on to colder temps and a different division altogether up in Colorado. And more recently, Ed Reed, who we know, Hall of Famer from the Baltimore Ravens, was almost the head coach at Bethune-Cookman.
Grand opening, grand closing.
Yes, ma'am. And due to some, I don't know that they were really unforeseen, some foreseen circumstances, he is no longer going to be the coach. But the things that he brought up that were going on, or shall I say not going on at Bethune-Cookman, have now raised a lot of eyebrows and now have a lot of folks talking. So what do we have to say about that? And I'll start, and mine is pretty brief. I do not have a problem with the message. I almost don't have a problem with the messenger, but delivery is very important. I think Bethune-Cookman has to be held responsible, just like, and let me say this, not just like any other HBCU, but any other college, university should be responsible for their students' not just academics, not just, athletics. They're supposed to be responsible for their students and their staff. So while, Ed Reed possibly could have not run to TikTok like a middle schooler, that does not take away from the fact that Bethune-Cookman has some serious issues that they need to address. So here we are. Cheryl, what you got?
Well, I do agree, but as with anybody coming on, there is changes to be expected and things to be talked about. If you want to move a program forward, and I'm sure all of that was put on the table, but there was probably some things under the table that he didn't see that it was brought to light.
Like trash. I'm sorry.
Yeah, picking trash up and stuff like that. Yeah, but those are things that should have been talked about, and yeah, he went about it the wrong way, and maybe he regret that decision, but maybe now all colleges need to look at their programs, and fix them if they're broken.
Kanisha?
But and he played for the Baltimore Ravens, which was a Cleveland Browns team, so he's a Raven Brownie.
Raven Brownie.
Sonny, don't do it.
Don't encourage
so cute. I think it's very witty.
Right. Yes, he sold his shit. He sold his shit. That's the problem. That's the problem. Kanisha, what about you?
Well, I feel like the key points really have been touched upon. Hopefully, the program will be able to fix what he highlighted. Apparently, this sparked protest from the student body in general about some conditions there. We also have to keep in mind that they were recovering from some serious storm damage as well. Balance is key, but when you get that spotlight shining on you, sometimes you will clean things up and make amends a little bit more quickly than what the original timeline would have been. So I do hope that is the case, because there are talented students who have the capacity to earn scholarships, and it would be great if they could be able to play and have a great season. I have a feeling Ed Reed will surface somewhere else. Deion Sanders' feedback was, he wasn't wrong. And, hopefully it'll get fixed. Hopefully it'll get addressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there were things and issues at Jackson State that, I didn't know about until, way after the fact. Mm-hmm. And I think that also speaks to, once again, delivery.
The approach.
It was not, there was no reason or rhyme where Deion had to or should have been doing the things that he had to make sure that, his players were okay. So, I mean, it does shine a light, but, what you're doing or not doing in the dark, I guess, will come to light. But it should not have taken this. But I'm like, you know what? Shame on you. It's the reality of the subject matter. And, it needed to be addressed. Interim, whoever, you're in charge, you gotta take care of your, like I said, you're supposed to take care of your students.
Mm-hmm.
Sonny, what did you have to share about that?
Well, first I want to say I'm a proud graduate of Howard University, some Howard University Bison. So anything around HBCU I pay attention to. I think it is unfortunate that the dirty, I don't call it dirty laundry, but just some of the struggling and things that students are dealing with HBCUs, and that's what's in the news, as opposed to some of the other great things going at the universities. But, I haven't been involved with Howard for a long time, but I honestly, I kind of wasn't surprised with some of the things they said. They don't have the same money that they have at some of the big universities. I don't think they put money into the athletic teams, but have the same expectations. And I'm not sure what you do about it. But it's it's unfortunate. I just hope that the schools start, revisiting some of that, and maybe they can do better by their students.
Agreed. All right. Well, ladies, where did the time go? And I can't even blame Cheryl. This was I can't completely blame Cheryl. This was a great conversation. I do appreciate our guests. We do thank you for joining us, and you will have to do a small clinic with us on these predictions, excuse me, on these picks. So maybe we can, get a taste of the glory of winning not one but two fantasy football leagues.
She's
So,
a goat.
thank you
Thank
for joining us. We thank everyone for watching and joining us on another Sports View.
Oh, Tracy, we do have one word before we depart, and that is just thinking of everyone in Half Moon Bay with the California tragedies, and then also sending speedy recovery and get well wishes to our co-producer Liz, who is who had a little incident with a broken leg. So she's down but not out. We wish you well, Liz. We love you, and wish you speedy recovery.
And K-Dub, don't your son attend HU as well?
I do have a son who plays for the Howard Bison. Yeah, so HU.
No.
Thanks, Kanisha, for acknowledging. So, thank you all for joining us for another Sports View, and we look forward to seeing you all after the games this weekend. Take care.
Yeah, thanks
Go
for having
Browns in 2023. Go
Let's
Browns.
go Steelers.
You